How have you seen James navigate this season?
Well, I think it's been a big challenge for James. Obviously the hamstring last year was unfortunate and missed a lot of time, and then spent the entire summer kind of trying to get over that. So he came into the season without the regular kind of conditioning and ramp up. And so there's a lot thrown at him. He had to get himself in shape. First of all, get himself healthy, get himself in shape, find his rhythm, his confidence, and adjust to basically a whole new team, without Kyrie, with 10 new players. So there's been a lot thrown at him, and he's continued to progress and get better. And then, obviously the latest COVID interruption hit. So, so he kind of starts afresh here today. But, overall, really pleased with his work to get back and to continue to improve throughout the season. And he can still get better. We know that. So, he's eager, loves the game, and he's been working on it.
Hey, Steve. KD and LeBron obviously have gone against each other on the biggest of stages so many times, and tonight is obviously a nationally televised huge game. Have you spoken to KD about just sort of like the disappointment level of him missing this game?
I haven't. No, he just loves to play though, so I know he's bored out of his mind sitting at home not being able to play, and ready to get back with his team and on the floor.
Go to Brian Lewis.
Hey, Steve. Of the guys that we discussed that were all cleared from protocols and available as of yesterday, are all of them going to be available to you tonight, or do some of them maybe need another day or two to get physically ready?
They're all available, but I think that question's still to be determined on how they feel, through their pregame work and what performance feels is right for them. So, there is a chance they all could play a part today, but there's also a chance that one or two of them don't play. So I think those questions are to be determined.
Greg Logan.
Hi, Steve. As far as LaMarcus Aldridge goes, he went in on the 14th, so it was presumed he would be able to come out by now. Is he having any issues, because of his underlying condition?
I don't think he's having any issues. I think if I'm not mistaken, he's either out or about to be out. It's just a matter of ramping him up accordingly. It has been an extended absence, and we just want to make sure that he's right. So we're not in a rush with LA.
Alex Schiffer.
Hey, Steve, kind of going off Brian's question, just James Johnson and Bruce Brown were cleared from protocols after we talked to you yesterday. Have they been able to get any on-court work prior to, if you guys shot around or anything this morning, or are they coming in pretty, just straight from quarantine into this?
Yeah, I think they're kind of coming straight from quarantine. They might have, to be honest, I'm not sure. They might have had some. They've probably been doing home workouts and stuff, but they haven't been able to join the group yet. We didn't shoot around this morning, being Christmas and an early game, so those guys are obviously, at a very early stage of kind of returning to play. We have to be very careful with them, but we'll see what they feel like today. We'll see what performance feels about them, and kind of just monitor the situation. There's a chance that they play. There's a chance they don't. I think Bruce, typically is a pretty fit guy who's able to play without a ton of ramp up. But we'll see. These are things that I think we're gonna have to decide on the fly.
Christian Winfield.
Hey, Coach. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Two quick ones for you. Just first, does this feel like a traditional NBA Christmas game, or is COVID kind of like the dark cloud or the Grinch that stole Christmas in some ways?
Yeah, I definitely think there's an element that's disappointing. Where I think everyone's kind of got a little bit of COVID fatigue, and it doesn't make Christmas quite as ceremonious, or a Christmas Day game when you're dealing with all this other stuff. At the same time, I think we've got to be grateful for all the things we do have, and we got a chance to play a basketball game on Christmas Day, and that's a good place to be. So we're excited by the opportunity, and for our group, it's just a chance to get back on the floor. Not having had that for a week, and to be in various states of health and safety and form. We just want to get out there and really get through this game and see what we can do, and if we can build on this game and make sure these guys survive the game, first of all, from a health standpoint, find some rhythm and put some minutes in their legs so that they can continue to improve.
And second, kind of piggybacking off of what you just said, I mean, are you guys even able to scout the Lakers at all right now, or are you kind of more so concerned about what you're able to do with the situation you guys have been dealt?
No, of course we scout the Lakers and have a game plan and watch them play and all that stuff. That doesn't change.
Steve, what's the key to making guys comfortable in a situation when you're playing lineups you haven't played as much this year, and you've got guys who maybe haven't played just in these circumstances? What's the key to trying to make that as seamless as possible with what you're trying to do in normal times?
It's a great question.
Or is it even possible?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the one hand, it's probably impossible, but you try to do the best you can. I think a big part of it is kind of, giving them the freedom to make mistakes. This is, it's about trying to do the right things and trying to, get those minutes into your legs and find that rhythm together and that connectivity, and you try to remove as much of the risk of the situation. Is just go out, play hard, have fun, get together, form bonds, find solutions, and let's navigate the game together. And I think it's such a unique situation with all these guys having basically a week without the ball and a week without basketball conditioning. That can be very tricky to navigate. You don't know what we're going to get out there, and to no fault of the players.
Just as a follow-up to that, how have you personally dealt with just sort of the roller coaster of this all?
I think we were well prepared for this type of stuff last year. We had a lot thrown at us. Obviously, COVID was even more intense last year in many respects, with the constant testing and protocols. This year has been a little more relaxed and a little safer until recently. But we're prepared for this kind of uptick and this season of kind of and wave of COVID cases rising because of what we went through last year. So it is what it is. We have some history with it. We've had a lot of other things thrown at us too. So I think we're by now an adaptable group, and try to be grateful for the opportunity, be competitive, but at the same time have the big picture in mind.
Steve, what are you able to envision? What process would be like for James moving forward, not just for training protocols, but adjusting whenever Kyrie joins the group and then whenever he's not available?
As far as James playing with Kyrie?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that helps James, have another player out there to draw attention, to create space, to take pressure off him, another ball handler, another penetrator. A lot's thrown on James' shoulder because he's one of the few guys on our team that really penetrates and gets in the paint. So Kyrie can help not only create space, make plays, take the burden off James, but also, sharing that responsibility. So, he's adapted pretty well to the pressure of being our kind of one guy that really penetrates the basketball constantly. But at the same time, Kyrie can help him in that respect because he's obviously an incredible player when it comes to getting to his spot and getting wherever he wants to go. And so we're excited to be able to reincorporate Kyrie to our group.
Greg?
Steve, is there any update on how Kyrie is handling quarantine, and do you have any more feel for what the process will be as far as integrating him back into the team?
I'm not sure the day-to-day of how he's handling quarantine, but I know that once he comes out of protocols, he'll definitely be able to start training, start ramping up, and being available for road games. So, it's really waiting for him to clear and then getting him into a program of regaining kind of that fitness and basketball conditioning. He has obviously worked out and been on the court throughout his absence, but it's different from being in a gym by yourself to playing an NBA game. So he's got to go through that process as well. But he's an incredible player and kind of a quick adapter if there is any. So I think he'll handle that pretty well.
Brian?
I know you had said, obviously, with Kyrie, he was obviously never going to play in this road swing, but I'm curious whether you have any hope at this point that Kevin might be able to join you for the Clipper game, or is it too early to tell that yet?
Too early to tell. I don't think he's. I would have no indication that he's going to test out before that. So for me to predict that, I think would be unfair or a little premature. So we'll see. Whenever he tests out, and it'll be great to have him back whenever that is, and hopefully sooner than later.
Christian?
Hey, Coach, kind of you guys are in an interesting scenario where one of your best players won't be available at home. I mean, does that change the way you look at home court advantage where, you know, you might want to play on the road now in the playoffs because you'll have Kyrie on the road versus not having him at home?
Yeah, you know, I don't think that we can ever take that type of approach. You know, I think our mandate is to improve throughout the season. So we're process driven, trying to continue to grow and learn and form an identity and cohesion. We want to win games, and finishing first in the East would be a great bonus for all that effort. But you know, that's secondary to us continually trying to get better. So home away, I think it kind of is putting the cart before the horse. We just got to focus on what we do, and where we finish is, you know, in many ways, relying on a bit of luck and how hard and how diligent we are with our process.
Last one, Alex.
Hey, Steve, usually with these, you know, replacement players, 10-day guys you've had, you know, the way you've explained to us has been, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Steve Nash. We have a game to go play. Let's go. Just even with the week off with no ball action, with Zoom and everything, have you been able to maybe get these guys more familiar with the system? Take a guy like Runyon, too, who signed before you guys had some time to return to the court, and maybe not have to go, you know, most basic and give them some more stuff from ground up with them coming into a game like this? Or is it kind of back to the original way?
Yeah, no, I think our you know, we have a plan for those guys where they get time individually on the court or with film to kind of get up to speed with what we do, and that gives them a little bit of a, you know, an opportunity to not feel lost out there. But watching on film or walking through 1-on-0, or even when they have been with the group, you know, it's still not like playing. So it's a challenge for those guys to be up to speed, to be able to learn, you know, our principles and to fit in, you know, in short order. You know, that's a challenge for everybody, but they've been great. Those guys listened, learned, and fit in fairly well in the limited minutes they played.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks everybody.